So I'm just doing a little video clip right now of using God's Bible rules because I'm talking about God's Bible rules and I think that maybe we should use them. So one of the rules is every word needs to have its proper place and bearing on a subject. And this is probably one of the ones that is most often forgotten. You know, we don't look closely at scriptures. I'm sure years ago that they did, but now that Scientology, the new religion, is taking over, many things are changing in what we believe, and we don't believe the Bible anymore. But I'm just going to go and I'm going to take one little part from the fourth day of creation, and I'm going to read it to you. And then I'm going to say, listen while I'm reading it to you. And my question is, can the moon be the lesser light? Yes or no? So Genesis 1 verses 14 to 19 says, "And God said, Let there be lights in the firmament of heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. And God set them in the firmament of heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the fourth day." So that's pretty simplistic, and most people just automatically assume that yes, the moon has a lesser light. But after I read that to you, and if you're starting to become familiar with God's Bible rules, maybe you might be going, hey, there's something in there. I never thought about it. And yeah, and it's so true. So the first mistake that people do when they read these passages is they see the sun in the sky, which is the greater light. No problem there. The Bible tells us the sun is the greater light, and it is a great light in the sky that we see. But they just assume that the moon is a lesser light. But assumptions are not always right. So when we go to these verses, some of the things that we need to see and we need to know and understand in the very first verse in 14, it says that he made the lights in the firmament of heaven to divide the day from the night. So that means that all the lights that he made are to divide the day from the night. And he says, let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years. And let them be, and so it's the same ones. So in verse 15, now it says, still the same lights that he created, and let them be for lights in the firmament of heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. So these lights, as the Bible said, need to divide day from night. Okay, but we're going to read on a little further because it didn't talk about the greater light or the lesser light there. And it says in verse 16, and God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. And he made the stars also. So he's now referring to all the lights that he created in the first verse that were in the day and in the night. And then we'll go on just a little bit further. And it says, and God set them in the firmament of heaven to give light upon the earth. So they're all still there, dividing day from night in the heavens. We have the greater light, the lesser light, and the stars. And to rule over the day and over the night. So now they're ruling over the day and over the night, and to divide light from darkness. And God saw that it was good. Okay, so we have two things that say divide now. All the lights were created to divide day from night. And at the very end, they never added anything else. It's still talking about all the same lights that he made at the first, in the very first verse. It's to divide light from darkness. Well, you know, I live in the country, and I love the country because, it explains the Bible so easily. If you're in the city, you just miss things and you don't see things. And, there's reasons why, God made the beautiful nature that we have, because it declares his glory. And it's almost like there's a sermon in nature almost every day when you go out. It's showing the controversy that's going on between good and evil. And it's joyous because there's flowers and birds and stuff that, make us happy. But then it's sad because, right now the leaves are falling and things are starting to rot and decay. And, there's the death and we don't like it. But one of the things that I really noticed though is that half the time the moon is out in the daytime. and half it's out at night. So if we look at these Bible verses here, the moon couldn't have been created on the fourth day. The Bible doesn't tell us when it was created, but it didn't divide night from day. It didn't divide light from darkness. It is a lesser light. We know that. It is a light in the sky. There's no denying it. And and it gives light, but it gives light during the day and during the night. So it doesn't do anything that it says in this verse. And some people will read into this verse and they do it because they're trying to prove something. Uh, but they shouldn't try to do it because the truth will stand on its own merits, and what they believe uh, can be true, but it's not proper. This is not the place for it. Some people will say, let them, when it says let it be for signs. Well, the moon, it could be for a sign. Everything's for a sign. A leaf can be for a sign, right? For something, right? It changes color in the fall and then dies. You know that fall is coming. It's for a sign. So everything is a sign. So that's not what it's talking about. And then it says it's for seasons. Well, the moon doesn't affect any seasons whatsoever. And some people will say, well, that means appointed feasts and stuff like that, because in the Bible, the feasts followed wherever the new moon was. But that isn't what this is talking about, because that is a figurative word. And there's no figurative language in this at all. It's just, it's for signs. It's telling you the signs of what's happening on the earth at different times. And then it's telling us, it's for seasons. The seasons that are happening on earth, and it's for days and for years. And it's not talking about something spiritual. It's just talking about plain created nature, like every other day of creation. We can't take one little spot and then change it to fit something that we think will make it even more right when it's not. So if we're going to be honest about this, the moon, because it doesn't fit here, it never divided night from day, it didn't divide light from darkness. It was not the lesser light created on the fourth day. And I'm not going to tell you what the lesser light was because I have to speculate at it. And you can speculate at it yourself. The Bible's amazing, it's beautiful, it's pure. Uh, all the answers are there. It's just a matter of taking these Bible rules and finding them. Some things are a little harder to find than others. But when you find out what the lesser light is, it's still beautiful. Okay, take care. Bye bye. And remember, follow God's Bible rules. As we do this, the Bible will open up to you. There's so many things that we just believe because somebody told us, somebody thought, but nobody ever actually read the text and had an awareness or an understanding of what it said. My prayer is that God will be with you and teach you the truth and the truth alone, not my truth, but His truth.